Hi everyone, and welcome to the Virgo Weekly Illumination Reading. This is I Am Illuminated Tarot and Meaning-Based Spiritual Coaching Services. I am Lauren. Hi and welcome. Now this is a slightly new type of reading that's different from my previous readings in seeing that I am a new mother and my schedule has changed. So I'm trying to condense my readings to be able to make more of them, but to allow them, again, to have the same messages, but just in a slightly condensed format. I will still be releasing one more comprehensive reading for each sign later on in the month. It'll be the Spiritual Purpose Connection reading. I hope you check that out. Now, this reading specifically is all about illuminating through utilizing and engaging with the core principles of curiosity, courage, and contemplation, some aspect of your unique internal self that needs to have awareness brought to it so that you can engage in your external environment with your spiritual purpose. All right, so we're going to jump right in here. I'm going to pull a Power of Surrender card for you guys. That's going to help us engage with the principle of curiosity. Now, before I go into this, I just wanted to say, as I was tapping into your energy, I don't always get a message or get a feeling, but for you guys specifically, sounds very strange, but I saw a banana and a banana peel specifically on the ground and somebody going to step on it and slipping and falling. And I heard folly. And there's a feeling that came through. I almost felt like this anxiety in my heart chakra, this element of like, I felt like my pulse was kind of like racing. And I had the distinct feeling that you felt somehow that you've made a folly or a foolish decision, or that something didn't quite work out. And that you were you had anxiety over it or were embarrassed because of it. And I want to say this, that I feel for you guys if you are in that space. But I can also say that I don't see anything as a folly in life or a mistake. There's this element of we have to learn through our actions. And when we feel like something has happened that has a negative consequence, this is part of actually the principle of contemplation. We get a chance to take a look at the consequences of our actions, and we get to then self-adjust. And this is all in a process to allow us to grow and evolve. And so if there is some aspect of your life that either you felt embarrassed about or you felt like it was kind of a misstep, so to speak, it's all just to allow you to kind of regroup. And it's Spirit asking you to come back kind of bigger and stronger with the lesson learned from how you felt around the action that you took. So if you felt embarrassed or you felt like it was a misstep, then to go back and just alter your actions a little bit. You don't have to sit and stay in that energy. And again, this comes back to the seat of your control. You get to control your perception of events and your external environment, as well as your reaction to the consequences that happen and the emotions that they bring up within you. All right, so to engage with the principle of curiosity, what we're engaging with here is we are stepping back in time to that childlike perspective of life where we see again the awe and wonder and the mystery of life, and we are excited about it instead of terrified or anxiety ridden over it. And this is so that we can get past all of kind of our negative thought patterns and programming where we say things like, well, this is just how it is and it won't change, or this is just how I am and I can't change. And we're breaking past that to see what needs to be illuminated about yourself that you are not currently aware of and Spirit is asking you to become aware of. So we have two cards that came out. We have Surrender to Creativity. Love this card. And we have Surrender to Spirit. Oh, love it. Okay. So Surrender to Creativity says, let your imagination soar. Stay open to all creative ideas about how to pursue a dream or solve a problem. Beautiful. And then we have Surrender to Spirit. And it says, once you've done everything you can to achieve a goal, turn the situation over to the divine. Let spirit work its magic for you. So I think these two kind of go hand in hand together, but also with the initial just intuitive message I was receiving for you guys. There's this quality here of opening yourself up to spirit. I have this feeling that you guys have been trying to push at something, and it might not have resulted in the end goal that you had been hoping for, and that somehow, because it hasn't or didn't, that's where you feel this element of misstep or something that's, again, providing you with this level of, I made a mistake, or I'm embarrassed that this didn't happen the way I was expecting it to. And there's this element here with surrender to spirit, that spirit is saying, no. It's not that it's not going to happen or that you should be embarrassed it hasn't happened in a specific way. It's that you had to go through these steps to uncover elements about yourself so that the person you are in this very moment watching this video is primed now for the actual result or end goal, what that's going to look like coming from spirit. So you might have had one idea in mind as to where your efforts were going to lead, but spirit's saying, no, you had to go through those efforts, but I'm now going to step in and show you where this was actually all going, what it was actually all for. And what it's for is to allow you to step into a place of creativity. I have this feeling that there's going to be something that comes in this week. So when we're thinking about building a question, now we build a question in with curiosity to take what is a very general reading and make it an individualized reading for you, because you're going to ask yourself this question and then answer it throughout the week. And in answering it, it's obviously the answer is unique to your own situation and to your singular self. So there's this element here of when it says, stay open to all creative ideas about how to pursue a dream or solve a problem. That it's now about opening yourself up to awe and wonder, to specifically with yourself, some aspect of yourself that you're not yet aware of, and to open yourself up to spirit as well, for the messages that are going to come in. But there's this element here of opening yourself up to the aha moment. But in order to do that, you're going to have to just kind of release. It's one of those weeks, and it's interesting because this came through for Taurus as well. So earth signs might be kind of going through a similar experience where there's a quality here of kind of accepting and releasing this week instead of pushing forward. That the messages are coming in and wanting you to be present and quiet enough to hear them as they come in, because there's going to be a solution that's going to be sparked for you guys, Virgo. There's going to be something that comes in and it's going to be like this aha moment of, oh, that's what I needed. That's the missing puzzle piece to, maybe I've been trying to make a business get off the ground and it just hasn't been manifesting in the way that I wanted to. But there's going to be something that comes in this week that's going to be that missing piece, that maybe you find one little nugget out of the business you were trying to start, and there's a nugget in there that actually this is more the business. It's like a subsection of what you were trying to do, or a way to express your message in a different way that's going to suddenly be the key that unlocks everything. Or if this isn't, we'll say, work related, this could be something with home where all of a sudden you realize, oh my gosh, that's how I can rearrange my schedule to allow myself to have more time to fit this in. And I've been kind of going around and around and around and realizing I can work smarter, not harder. And I just get this really almost getting excited now. Like there's this quality here to this week that's going to take you from this place of just feeling kind of down on yourself for something that hasn't been manifest in the way that you were hoping. And that if you can be curious enough as to asking yourself the question of, where do I need to surrender? What is that one place in my life that I've been pushing that hasn't resulted in the result I was expecting, that's causing me to feel anxious and kind of upset and down on myself? And where do I just need to surrender and listen to Spirit, who's going to be coming in and giving me that key that's going to show me that this was all worth it. Like, why did I have to go through all of this? So now we're going to step into courage. I love the principle of courage, because this is where we get a chance to step into our seat of personal power. This is where we get a chance to have the courage to take conscious action. What does conscious action mean? It means that we are fully aware of ourselves and each and every decision and action that we choose to take, so that we are not just moving through days, going day after day, kind of going almost like a robot through life without engaging ourselves with it. That each and every decision, no matter how small it is, no matter if it's, do I sit and watch another hour of Netflix or text a friend? Do I eat this or that for dinner? Do I go for a walk, or do I, stay in at work an extra hour? There's all these little decisions that we make each day that, if we are coming from a place of awareness about ourselves, we can step into a place of finding the courage to act within our own best interest. Ooh, that's a lot that came out there. All right, guys, I'm going to take one card landed face up here. So this is the card I'm going to take. But there's this element of, again, staying connected through being present. And that takes courage. It takes courage to constantly keep yourself in mind and to be aware of your actions, so that you're taking responsibility for them each and every time you take an action, so that you're not just doing things and with the lack of awareness, so that then when the consequences come back, you're also not aware of the consequences, because you're not even aware that the actions you took were what produced the consequences. So we have grasshopper spirit, number 30, breaking down to number 3, which to me is the number of divinity. And it says, take a leap of faith. Beautiful message. So there's this element here of, for me, when you think about taking courageous action, that leap of faith is trusting in the divine. And for me, courage, so where curiosity boils down to tapping into the awe and wonder of life again, courage boils down to tapping into faith. And for anybody who wants to learn more about curiosity, courage, and contemplation, and kind of, how they can really help to unlock and engage you with your spiritual purpose, there are 2 links in the description box below where I go into great detail. One which is visual, I actually draw it out on a whiteboard, and another one is just me speaking and giving examples. Okay, so anyways, there's this quality here of tapping into that faith that it takes to take courageous action on our own behalf. But when it says take a leap of faith, that leap of faith is trusting in that there is a divine purpose, and that everything you've gone through that perhaps related to what has made you feel either embarrassed or upset, or that something hasn't come to fruition in the way that you were hoping, that there's this element of having to take that leap of faith to continue on that road of whatever you were building or whatever you were working towards that didn't seem to be working out. Keep going. Now, this doesn't mean to keep taking the same action. This is where we get a chance to step into our seat of control, because we can take courageous action, and because we're aware of the actions now, we can change our actions. We get a chance here through courage to say, okay, I've been doing this and this and this. I'm going to have the courage to trust that this is still meant for me, but I'm going to change my actions now. I'm going to change my perception of what I've been doing, and I'm going to open myself up with faith to Spirit to help show me the answers, and I'm going to have the courage to take action as these answers come in to do something different in this realm. So this could be, let's say it's in your, it could be going back to you trying to start a business, and maybe you've been taking certain steps and putting forward certain action, steps of action, and now maybe it's about changing that. Changing how you're approaching the business, or realizing, actually being able to say, okay, if I have to, maybe get rid of this half of the business because this part is what Spirit's calling me. This is like my little nugget of, I always think of it as like the golden ticket or your golden coin. It's the ace of coins in the tarot, that you see that potential in one aspect to be able to have faith that it's not about throwing everything out. Not about throwing out the, baby with the bathwater, so to speak. It's about taking that beautiful little seed and realizing that you have to keep pushing forward. Don't give up on the dream. Keep pushing forward on the dream. Because I love how this says, stay open to all creative ideas about how to pursue a dream or solve a problem. So there's this element here coming through. There is this dream that you have regarding this one issue or thing or topic. And to keep going, do not give up on it, but that you're going to have to change your actions surrounding it, and to have the courage to move with Spirit as Spirit's coming in and giving you these ideas to go with it. And this could be a creative aha moment where it seems so out of left field, where let's say you were trying to focus on creating a business, but you've been shying away from being on social media and talking about it, and maybe filming little videos about yourself, or talking to a marketing agent where, again, you're stepping into being the face of your business and you don't want to do it. And now you're getting kind of this creative inspiration of what you could say or how you could be presenting yourself, as the face of your product. And now you're going to do it, but you have to have the courage to go ahead and do that. And that can be hard. It can be hard to put yourself out there. Or this could be you wanting to pursue a relationship, and maybe one relationship didn't work out and it ended not in the way that you were hoping. But now, instead of just giving up on pursuing relationships, it's about changing your actions towards how you perceive a relationship. And this could be something now where maybe you get a creative impulse to try something new, whether it could even be down to you realizing maybe you need to go talk to somebody. You need to maybe seek out therapy around interpersonal relationships, or you need to, maybe there's something about, instead of maybe just going on dating apps, you all of a sudden, as you're kind of surrendering to Spirit, you decide that there's a hobby that's calling your name and you want to join a group around that hobby. And in doing that, but still keeping yourself open to the energy of love and the energy of finding a partner for you, that maybe just in this message strongly coming through of follow this hobby and join this group, that all of a sudden you're going to meet that partner there. And this is how we build, when we tap into curiosity and awe and wonder, and the awe and wonder mystery of life, that what we don't know. And then we move into courageous action. We're moving with faith in that we are going to be awed by what we don't think can happen. And that we're going to be awed by the fact that, something as small as maybe just deciding to join a kickball group is going to lead you effortlessly almost into your next beautiful partnership, romantic partnership, where maybe perhaps before you were going down this rabbit hole of dating apps and all of this hard work and effort, and then here you make this one tiny decision that just kind of springs it on you, yourself, and you follow this impulse, and suddenly it's effortless. But this is where we have to stay open, and we can't close ourselves off. We can't sit there and say, well, it's just not for me, so I'm going to just close that chapter, that book. It's like, no. That's your dream. If you feel it, and this is what you've always wanted in the core of who you are, that is your authentic self desperately giving you a landline call to say, hello, this is your tie to your divine purpose. So keep going, but open yourself up with awe and wonder to what Spirit has divinely designed for you. And we don't always, in fact, we never almost never see how we're connected until it happens. And that's why we have to kind of just stay open. Oh, all right. So, last but not least, we are going to pull a card for the concept of contemplation. And this is where we get a chance to take a look. We get to reflect on the consequences of our actions to be able then to start the cycle of utilizing curiosity, courage, and contemplation all over again. So we contemplate on the consequences of the actions that we took, and then we can become curious again as to how we can either continue those actions if they had beneficial outcomes, and how we can grow those, we can grow it to even become better, or we can, oh, that's way too many, or we can adjust, and we can become curious as to, okay, that wasn't maybe the reaction I wanted, but how can I now how can I courageously adjust my actions to produce a different consequence or a different reaction that might be better? And this is how we get a chance to stop ourselves from getting stagnant, where we're just going through doing the same things, getting the same response, and not feeling that it's beneficial for us. Okay, so we have higher power number 4. Again, stepping into this element of surrendering to Spirit, that there's a higher power. And I love this because when you look here, there's a quality in this image where it looks like there's almost like a flashlight here. But I also see this as a keyhole. There's this quality that Spirit is going to come in this week and kind of, if you can, again, open yourself up to a solution to your problem or to a realization of a dream, but in a different way. And you allow Spirit to come in kind of unhindered. That there's going to be this aha moment where it's almost like you're going to hear it audibly, like it's going to be a click, and it's going to be like, wow, I never thought to look at it from this perspective. And it's going to illuminate the path forward, to illuminate why you had to go through that misstep or that mishap or even that delay. Because it might just be that something's been delayed and you're just getting frustrated and want to walk away from it. But instead, there's been this holding period so that whatever's coming in now, you are able to take advantage of it from the wisdom you have in this very moment, from the perspective that you have, from the experience that you have, and it's going to be very powerful. This is I'm getting like goosebumps. This is a very powerful reading, Virgo. And if you can surrender to Spirit, kind of stop taking action this week, except to lean into the faith that whatever you think is perhaps not for you or that you are looking to maybe give up on, that you lean further into it, but not in taking action towards pushing towards the result that you wanted. Instead, stepping back, allowing Spirit to come in, and the courage to have faith, to just sit with faith this week that this is still meant for you, and that by just kind of stepping back and letting yourself feel and flow with Spirit, that there's going to be a message that comes in, or there's going to be that aha moment that's going to unlock what this was all for, and that it will help realize this dream or this hope or this goal, and that it'll almost probably feel effortless after all of this work up to this point. But you just have to have courageous faith. Have courageous faith. Take that leap of faith that you can just sit back, and this week it's going to come to you. All right, Virgo, I hope that this has been a illuminating message. I look forward to reading for your next weekly Illumination reading. And if you'd like to book a personal tarot reading or a one-on-one coaching session, the link to my website is in the description box below. I appreciate likes and subscribes. However, if you don't feel comfortable doing that, I completely understand. This is just gift enough that you watch this video and that I have the chance to be able to share this with you. Have a wonderful rest of the week and month, and I hope that you do check out your comprehensive spiritual connection reading, which will be posted later in the month. Bye, Virgo.